Hello and welcome back to this new episode. In this episode, you're going to discover how to improve your singing instantly using some posture hacks. Now, what most singers tend to do when they just start singing is focusing on the voice and on the voice only and on vocal technique, but forgetting about our body. Our voice is our instrument, yes, but our body makes part of that instrument. It's not just our vocal cords that have an influence on how we're producing sound. Because when you fall into the trap of only focusing on your voice, then you might notice any tension building up. And not only tension around the larynx, but also throughout your body that will then affect the larynx. So in our Singing Insiders program, we actually did a whole masterclass on different posture hacks and movements that can help you enhance your singing and release that tension. In this episode, I'm going to give you my two favorite ones because these hacks alone will be enough to give you a massive transformation in your voice. Okay, so let's dive into it. I'm about to give you the first hack to improve your singing by adjusting your posture slightly. So most singers, again, they make the mistake of only focusing on the voice when they're singing. And when that happens, well, then you're unaware of any build-up tension in other parts of your body that might influence your larynx and thus the voice. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to invite you to sing along with me and experience the changes in real time. So we're going to work with a song, Let It Be from the Beatles. Hopefully you know it. If not, it goes like this. Let it be, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let's do that together. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Beautiful. We're going to sing that one more time. And I want you to notice on a scale from 1 to 10, how your voice feels like and sounds like. So a 0 would be that it feels horrible and it sounds horrible. A 10 would be that it feels and sounds amazing. And with the feeling, I mean, how much tension do you feel? Does it feel free to sing those notes? Or do you have difficulties? And I'm using Let It Be as an example. My biggest suggestion to you would be to actually apply that into a song that you're singing yourself, a song that is within your repertoire, maybe a song that you have difficulties with, and then notice how these changes in posture might help you. So let's do that together and notice how does it feel and sound like, and then take note of what that number on the scale of 1 to 10 might be for you. Here we go. And let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Beautiful. Okay, so here's the first little posture hack. Let's sing that again, but this time with your arms reaching up. Now, it's not only about lifting the arms above your head, it's really about reaching up and thus expanding the rib cage in the process. So I'm going to ask you to pretend that there's a big ball up there that you're trying to reach, and you should feel your rib cage open up on the sides. And this is how we're going to sing it. Let it be, let it be, reaching up. Now, one little disclaimer, make sure that you keep activating your diaphragmatic breathing. Do not transition to a shallow breath, which is here. We're going to start hyperventilating. We don't want to have that. So we're reaching up, but we're still activating our diaphragmatic breath, okay? So let's try that, see what that does. Here we go, and let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Keep reaching up with both of your arms. Whisper words of wisdom, let it Beautiful. So let's check in. When you were singing that, on a scale from 1 to 10, how did your voice sound and feel like when you were reaching up? Did you notice any more ease coming up, maybe less tension or not? Whether your little number went up or down tells us something. This is all about creating awareness. If your number went up, which means it felt better and it sounded better, it might tell us that you need to work on opening up your body when you're singing instead of staying in a crouchy position. If your number went down, then that means that this little hack might not have been a great way for you to improve your voice. And that's okay. Just don't use it anymore. At least we've tried it and it tells us something. So this is all about creating awareness. So we have the reaching up. Now let's go on to the second hack to improve your singing by adjusting your posture. And here, most singers make the mistake of not daring to do it exaggerated enough. With that, I mean, oftentimes as singers, we learn that we have to stand in a certain way when we're singing. What I've learned, and that was like the choir posture, was feet hip distance apart, and then, your knees not locked, not all the way bent, but some kind of in between. And then you had your shoulders nice and straight, and then pretend that there was a string at the back of your head that pulled you up. That is the typical singing posture. You might have heard of that before, maybe not, maybe yes. And I agree that singing posture is really important because our bodies, that's where the air flows through. You can compare that to a straw, for example. If you have a straw and you blow air through it and the straw is straight, then the air will flow very easily. However, if you're bending the straw and you're then trying to blow air through it, it might be a little bit harder. So if my body is a straw and it's straight, the air will flow beautifully. However, if I have a little kink in there and maybe my head is too much back or I'm a little bit more to the side, that will make it harder for my air to flow freely. So that's what we're doing with all these exercises. So what happens when you make the mistake of not moving and then stiffing everything up is that your airflow might get stagnated. So yes, that typical singing posture is important. However, you need to be able to move. It needs to be organic. So the second hack that I'm gonna give you is what I like to call the enthusiastic march. So you can stand up if you're sitting down and imagine that you're marching, but super enthusiastic. Now, I'm going to try and demonstrate this for the people watching on our YouTube channel. If you're listening to the podcast, well, you will have to imagine what I'm doing right here. But so I'm going to stand up and you'll notice I'm pregnant. So it might be a little bit different on screen, but that's okay. So we are basically doing a very enthusiastic march while we're singing. And that will get our energy flowing, that will get our air flowing and flowing freely. The more movement that we have in our body, the less there's going to be any area of tension. So let's try that together. My invitation to you, we're going to be singing Let It Be again. And this time I want you to do that while you're enthusiastically marching, and you can march in one place. You don't have to actually go somewhere. Okay, let's try it. And let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Beautiful. I hope you did the march. Now, I couldn't demonstrate the march while I was playing piano, obviously. But again, let's check in. How did your voice sound and feel like? Did that number go up compared to the very first one? Or did it go down? If it went up, that tells you something. It tells you that there might be stiffness throughout your body, and that movement helps to release any of that stiffness or tension. If your number stayed the same or if your number went down, that tells us something too. It might tell us that movement is actually not really necessary for you to improve your singing, which is okay. We have, again, identified something that might work for some people and might not work for you. And my philosophy is to always, when we're talking about vocal technique, to hold on to what works for you and then let go of what doesn't. Because we can approach singing in many, many, many different ways. So we had the reaching up and we had the energetic march. My invitation to you is now to take a song that you have within your own repertoire and see how these little posture hacks, let's call them, can have an influence on your singing. Maybe it's when you're singing that high note. Maybe you're having difficulties singing that high note, and reaching up might help you to sing that high note. Or maybe you're feeling tension when singing the chorus of your song. Well, let's try to do the enthusiastic march while you're singing that chorus and see if that improves anything. So that's your homework for this episode. Now, I do want to say that today we zoomed into a very specific part of singing, which is posture. And this is part of the vocal technique pillar within our vocal freedom methodology. Now, singing is not just about vocal technique. There is so much more to discover when we're talking about singing. I'm thinking about, many singers, they want to be able to sing in public without feeling self-conscious. So how can we do that? How can we overcome the nerves, overcome the performance anxiety? How can we sing a song in our own unique and authentic way and really connect with the storytelling and the emotions? All of that is part of a bigger conversation. And I want to have that conversation with you. So I'm going to link a video in the description here down below, which is the next episode that I invite you to go through, because that one will open up that conversation where you're really going to get the whole framework to develop yourself as an all-around singer and not just focus on technique, but on all the elements necessary to really develop yourself as a singer. So I'm looking forward to see you there. I will link to it again in the description here down below, and we'll talk soon. Bye.